In this unit, we're discussing knowledge in an electronic culture. And for this specific lecture, we're going to be talking about the idea of Wikipedia and trying to figure out whether Wikipedia is truth, truthy, or trash. So the first article you read was entitled Why Wikipedia is So Great. And in this article, it talked about some of the virtues of Wikipedia. And a question to ask ourselves is, how is Wikipedia different from traditional encyclopedias? One thing, going back to the umbrella model, is the hardware and software. The wiki aspect of Wikipedia means that anyone can contribute anything at any time, and it's ongoing and self-updating. So unlike Encyclopedia Britannica, which has to be looked at by editors and only contains information from experts, Wikipedia allows anyone to participate at any time, which has some ramifications, obviously, for what we think of as knowledge in the electronic culture. Now, another aspect of the umbrella model relating to Wikipedia is the organizational infrastructure, and so all users can contribute. So some of the ways that Wikipedia promotes expansion and available knowledge is it allows more people to come to the table. Now, the available knowledge definitely expands. However, we'll see a little bit later that not all that knowledge is as high of quality as you might find in a traditional encyclopedia. However, there is no debating that there is more information on Wikipedia than you're going to find in any traditional encyclopedia. Continuing through the umbrella model, we think about Wikipedia and how it's different from the corporately owned media conglomerates that we heard about in the free speech for sale video. So let's look at the social system and think of what is the political ramifications for Wikipedia. Well, unlike the corporately owned media conglomerates, Wikipedia does not have any FCC regulation. The Federal Communications Commission only regulates things that go out over the airwaves, so Wikipedia is not regulated by the FCC. Now, the economic standpoint, we don't have any corporate interest influencing the story. Wikipedia doesn't accept any outside advertising and is a nonprofit corporation. So they don't have to worry about soft-pedaling scandals because they don't have anybody that they have to please in terms of advertisers. So now that we've looked at some of the positives of Wikipedia, what are some of the drawbacks? So we can look at the article Why Wikipedia is Not So Great and think about the idea of point of view. How does point of view matter in Wikipedia's philosophy of knowledge? Well, Wikipedia strives to have its user community eliminate point of view from every article. But ask yourself, is it possible to eliminate point of view? The thinking behind Wikipedia is that people from so many different points of view will come together and make something that they can all agree on. But then, by that point, has it lost all meaning? In terms of the social system, there can be potential economic influences here, and some that have occurred in the past is people from corporations such as Walmart going on and altering the entries about the corporate entity. So there could be economic influences, not in advertising, but people who actually go and edit it that are people with vested interests in making a company look good. When we move on to the next article, a false Wikipedia biography, we see the article about someone who had information put on there that was never substantiated that implicated them in an assassination. And the potential ramifications that we saw of Wikipedia on this individual user was that this person's name was defamed, but they didn't have any recourse. When it comes to Wikipedia, we have to ask the question, who is responsible? According to the 1996 Communications Decency Act, no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or the speaker. So under this, Wikipedia becomes the provider of the interactive computer service, but they're not treated as the publisher or the speaker because they're not the ones who actually put that material out there. It was put out there by another user. Wikipedia was simply the vehicle for it to get out. So if you are defamed by Wikipedia, where do you go? I ask you the question, who should be held liable? Should Wikipedia be held liable because this was on their website? Well, the person who posted it might be somebody who should be held liable, but we have seen that anonymity on websites and on the web is something that is cherished. If you look at www.panagraph.com, you can see that they have comment sections with people who have assumed pseudonyms. And these pseudonyms allow these people to participate and say things that they otherwise might not say. This anonymity provides protection. This can be a good thing in that it allows people to speak their mind without fear of ramifications, but it can also be problematic because it allows them to promote viewpoints that are negative towards others because there won't be any ramifications for it. We can move on to the article Wikipedia is as accurate as Britannica. And in this article, we saw that Science Magazine compared Wikipedia to Britannica in terms of accuracy. The types of articles they compared were fact-based and science-based, however. Those make up the majority of the articles on Britannica. But what about Wikipedia? Wikipedia has articles of all types. So overall, painting with a broad brush, you might say for fact-based and science-based, Wikipedia is as accurate as Britannica. But is it as accurate on things that Britannica doesn't cover? That's a completely different story. Also, thinking about point of view, how does point of view play into this? What is the point of view of those who write for Britannica? It's usually people who are experts in their field. But don't they have a point of view also? Don't they have certain issues that they've researched that they want to promote and certain things that they want to downpedal? So just like Wikipedia, point of view is not something that you can eliminate from Britannica. So thinking about the sample of articles from the Nature study, the sheer number of articles available on Wikipedia dwarfs those available in Britannica, and so obscure articles may not receive attention or be complete. For example, the article on Wikipedia for my hometown, Clinton, Illinois, doesn't have a whole lot of attention, and you can compare what's on there with what's on a local website about the Apple and Pork Festival, which is a large festival held in my town each year that brings tens of thousands of people out to see it. Now, you may not be able to get information about that in Britannica, but you can get it on Wikipedia. However, the accuracy of it may be less because there are fewer people that would know about that and contribute to it. Moving on to the article about liberating Wikipedia in China, we can ask ourselves, what are some reasons a government would block Wikipedia? And for this, we go back to the umbrella model. We can look at social system and political. Obviously, if you have a government that has tight controls over the media and over the thoughts of the people, as China does, politically, you wouldn't want dissension out there. You wouldn't want people questioning your ideas. So they may block Wikipedia because they think it is going to provide ideas that are negative. Not necessarily ideas that are biased against them, but ideas that are negative against what they're trying to do. But think about the individual user. If the individual user could get access to information that's different than what the government was telling them, and they disliked what the government was telling them and believe this other information, that would cause them to be able to rebel against their government or to think at least outside the box of ideas that their government is giving them. So how can Wikipedia be done? Well, in China, it's done through hardware software. In China, the internet is blocked for certain sites based on what the government says. Now, another thing to think about when thinking about Wikipedia in a foreign country is how the issue of different language versions affect the knowledge available on Wikipedia. And if you go to www.wikipedia.org now or at the end of this lecture, you'll see that there are many different languages, but the articles differ in each language. So think about how a coverage of some affair like the current Iraq war would be on the English language site different from that on perhaps an Arabic language site. So think about the idea of even language being something that shapes the way we perceive the world and how we perceive something to be credible knowledge. So as a result of all this, the discussion question is posted and you can answer it. How is China's political system more like Wikipedia's organizational system than America's political system?